again, my man.
Good to see you too, still. So who do we have here right now?
Who do we have here right now? That is, I think we
that's
got CoJam on stream coming up next.
Yeah, I think that's Herbert Hoover and versus CoJam.
Yeah, Herbert Hoover, part of that Dead Presidents group that comes through every now and then.
Yes, very famous. Infamous, I should say.
Infamous, we should say that, yeah.
Yeah, but a little background on the CoJam.
Yeah.
In doubles, he was using King K. Rool.
Yeah.
Now,
true.
King K. Rool is, I mean, he was dominating what I saw in doubles. It was crazy. But what I am most actually surprised about is that he's not using it like Diddy Kong anymore, like he was in Smash 4. So, I mean, it's a new game, new main. We'll see how it goes. You know?
Indeed, we will. I mean, it's now K. Rool. I mean, pretty well-rounded character, both singles and doubles. So it's not like he's a slouch in any sense of the word. And frankly, neither is CoJam, who going to see go with the Wolf. I mean, feeling inspired by Musty for sure. Wait a second, is Herbert Hoover? Oh, he was looking. He was looking at the Wolf Ditto. But no, instead going Roy.
Okay. I'm not. So we're starting off on Smashville. Now, CoJam getting, hit 31% so far.
Yeah. No, not doing half bad for himself, but Herbert Hoover getting those grabs, and Roy, I mean, one of the better characters as that was to be speculated at least was going to be one of the better characters.
Absolutely.
In Smash Ultimate, and frankly, not doing bad for himself right now. Has him up to 87%,
but we
already.
Still,
what makes Roy so effective in this game in particular?
I feel like Roy, quick aerials, quick high damage grab combos, and all around solid character when it comes to that. But CoJam catching the recovery with the forward smash, that's gonna take the first stock.
Yeah, no substitution for a decent forward smash, excuse me. Goodness gracious, stumbling over my words, but then again.
Ooh.
Oh, shields that side B.
Hey, Herbert Hoover with a nice punish on that with the side B, trying to keep CoJam on the ledge, and he catches him on the roll, gets him with the kill.
2 forward smashes, 2 stocks, and that's the story of the match so far, but a lot of good fundamental play from CoJam thus far. Those jabs, vicious as always from Wolf.
But Herbert Hoover trying to come back here, does a nice nair.
I mean, he's trying, but frankly, he's not really dictating the pace of the match quite as much as he'd like. He's trying to shield, but CoJam timing out his attacks perfectly and reading them. Herbert Hoover needs to start throwing out those disjoints a little bit more, I would think, if he wants to catch CoJam off guard.
Herbert Hoover trying to catch something, and he gets the counter, and he gets the forward smash on CoJam. Such a quick character with quick aerials. That's what I was saying earlier with Roy. Just such a strong character in that regard.
Yeah, there's a lot of power behind those behind that Sword of Seals.
Absolutely.
And air dodges the laser. Is the recovery not quite there for him?
Almost, and now we're brought back to an even one-stock game here. CoJam trying to start off strong, but Herbert Hoover answering right back.
That's the thing. I mean, CoJam, he's had Herbert Hoover in disadvantage for quite a bit this game, so it's not like he's doing poorly for himself.
Right. And
then again, it's a little bit more even than I think CoJam would like at this juncture.
Right. CoJam trying to find his footing. All right, actually gets him off stage. Herbert Hoover recovering.
The back air shielded.
Right.
Into the grab, and Herbert Hoover, I mean, reading these landings perfectly, trying to punish them as much as possible, and that up smash is not going to take it. Neutral air, and again, keeping CoJam in disadvantage. Like, luckily, it's not a Marthy's facing. That tipper would have killed.
Wow, the transition on that side B that CoJam just did, hitting Hoover back, making him able to get back on stage. But
beautiful DI from CoJam.
Beautiful. taunt to get bodied almost. Who knows? Oh my, forward
tell CoJam. He's on stage. Stage control, the name of the game here.
Yep. And another side B from Herbert Hoover.
Yeah, well, there was a body caught eventually, and it was on the part of Herbert Hoover. The swords, that sword slaying the beast that is Wolf. And we'll have to see if CoJam can come back and do that reverse 2-0 on him. But Herbert Hoover, credit to him, was in disadvantage for a lot of that matchup. What was the difference between victory and defeat for him?
I feel like when Herbert Hoover was in disadvantage, when you're fighting a Roy, it's so important to make sure that you are able to stay away from his kill power. He's able to take stock so quickly that when you're in disadvantage, like, he can just push advantage and then just kill you just off of that. So, like, literally, it's just insane. It's just insane. It's a new game. It's a new game still. And
I would I'd be inclined to agree with you, but at the same, so what I saw was CoJam playing a very aggressive, very aesthetically pleasing game for Wolf, but at the same time, perhaps maybe overextending a little bit, maybe a little too aggressive.
Right, exactly. So maybe, if, you know, to give CoJam some a little advice, maybe play more defensive, maybe stay back, use the lasers more, or, you know, fair is also auto cancels, so maybe use that more.
Wait a second, the Sheik coming out from CoJam.
I was not expecting this.
I mean, well, CoJam definitely has something in mind as we go to Town and City for game number 2.
Right.
And obviously, very different for, oh no, I'm not really sure about the pick myself, but what can you think? What's going through the mind of CoJam right now? Going with Sheik.
I mean,
because he's not going to kill early. Town and City much bigger than it was in Smash 4.
Absolutely. So maybe CoJam wants to opt to, you know, do a little bit of combos to get Roy off stage and possibly Gimp. Roy's recovery is definitely susceptible in this game of Ultimate. Herbert Hoover with a nice back air, though, to
that platform providing a little bit of assistance as well.
Exactly, and there it is. The Gimp that we were talking about, Stu. The Gimping is what I think CoJam is trying to look for. Maybe Herbert Hoover trying to stay on stage now, trying to edge guard. Ooh, what was that?
Oh.
Sheik still being light, but holding on by the skin of her teeth at 118. CoJam back on stage.
And again, it's going to be Herbert Hoover's attacks that aren't going to kill as soon as well, but eventually that aerial will take the stock and even things up at 2 stocks apiece. And right now, Herbert Hoover, I mean, he can dictate the pace of the match. That's what happens when you bring a sword to a fist fight. But right now, Sheik, he's CoJam playing with absolutely no fear whatsoever. That platform perhaps saving Herbert Hoover from another devastating combo.
Absolutely, but CoJam just continuously putting on the pressure. Herbert Hoover trying to find an answer here, but CoJam just, like, this is Sheik's specialty, just continuously tacking on damage. Nice reverse side B from Herbert Hoover. So now we're back on neutral.
And CoJam, oh, he was looking for that parry, and he's punishing the landings once again, as you do with the sword fighter. But CoJam in disadvantage right now. Herbert Hoover about to make him pay. I mean, it's like a mosquito buzzing around that Sheik. Herbert Hoover has the sword of seals as a fly swatter, but eventually does get stung by Sheik.
It looked like Herbert Hoover just overextended his aerial a little bit too much right there. Got hit, but answering right back with the stock, and now we're back to even again. It's looking like last game, actually, game 1.
Now CoJam, he's going to have to pull out something extra cheeky here if he wants the victory. Sitting at 49% already and gets countered. CoJam just a little too aggressive.
Yep.
Oh, he's pressing buttons.
He's pressing buttons a lot, and he gets hit with the counter. CoJam's trying to find something here. Herbert Hoover, Sheik's pretty light, so I want to say this is kill percentage for Sheik. But, all right, down throw nair. Okay. It's not over until
no!
that
Are you
thing.
serious, Herbert Hoover? No, my gosh. Bodies himself, more or less, and CoJam just like that. He just got a second lease on life in this winner's bracket, Uno.
Woo! That was intense. That was so intense. Oh, my gosh. Sheik, like, I mean, I want to say that last stock, Herbert Hoover was looking clean.
Yeah.
He was looking clean. But
I mean, and then it's that last stock that muddies everything up. And had him up to 95, approaching 100%. And what do you even say to that? Take us through what happened those last couple of seconds.
basically, you know, Herbert Hoover tacking on a lot of damage. CoJam reverse the aerial, hit him, and then he just side beat off stage, and it looked like he just self-destructed. Yeah. So SDs are still thinking this game. We're still learning, but.
And let's not take anything away from CoJam there. His positional awareness won him that game, ostensibly, as we're going to game number 3, Pokemon Stadium 2. And perhaps a little bit lower of a ceiling for CoJam to, for Herbert Hoover to take advantage of.
Absolutely. The side blast zones are a bit shorter, but definitely if you want to go for it, it's a lower ceiling. So maybe this is going to be good for Herbert Hoover, killing off the top, or killing off the sides a bit easier.
Yeah. Or again, I mean, you can always just go for those gimps.
Yes. As
basically is what saved him from, I mean, early on in that match could very well, you could call that the difference maker between this match, between a 2-0 victory and a 1-1 draw as we have right now.
Yes. All right, so we're back here in neutral. CoJam finding these openings on Herbert Hoover so far. Applying a lot of pressure on the shield.
Yeah, those side Bs coming out pretty quickly. It's a lot quicker in this game than it was in Smash 4.
Definitely.
For pretty much all the Fire Emblem characters with that dancing blade.
Yeah, they're all good.
No, they're all fine. It's
there it is.
Good tilt. And another one.
Yeah, Roy's jab literally is a nice combo starter. I'm surprised Herbert Hoover wasn't, following up, but maybe he's using the character. He's better than me at it, so he's thinking of something. He's probably cooking up something else. Okay.
Well, I mean, might as well tack on the damage wherever you can, because you know that CoJam is going to want to stick and move eventually.
Absolutely.
So you might as well tack on the damage while CoJam is stationary in any way possible.
Okay.
He's not going with anything heavy because he knows that CoJam, with that Sheik, has the speed to close down and punish pretty much anything with a big startup. And Herbert Hoover may be going out just a little too far away from the nest and is going to fall and lose that first stock.
CoJam doing a good job putting the fear on with the fair, making him air dodge backwards, so he felt safe and then couldn't recover. So now we have a 2-stock game on PS2. So far, they're going tit for tat right now.
Yeah, I mean, CoJam, again, with that combination game, not a whole lot that Herbert Hoover can do about that mid-combo. I mean, it's not like you can just SDI out of a lot of this stuff, right?
Right, yeah, he can, I feel. You see, it's the only thing that he can like SDI out of from Herbert Hoover would be, the side B, the downwards angle hit.
Right.
But mostly Herbert Hoover's doing is, doing these strong aerial attacks, just like that, and trying to just maintain stage control. Okay. Tried to hit the shield. CoJam's smartly punishing that with a forward tilt up air. Okay.
Now CoJam, looking to dictate the pace of this battle once again, closing down that gap like it ain't no thing. And Herbert Hoover does make his way back into neutral, but for how long? CoJam is there meeting Herbert Hoover, pretty much cutting him off at every single turn. And what does Herbert Hoover do to counteract this? I would be throwing out the down B just a little bit more, but what's your opinion?
What Herbert Hoover can do is just continuously pressure with aerials, continuously try to string along something. Sheik is pretty light, especially with all that rage. Herbert Hoover can look for the kill option, like he is now, continuously edge guarding. It's hard to edge guard Sheik though because she's so quick in the air, her air mobility and things like that. As you can see with the slick back air by CoJam, taking out Herbert Hoover's second stock.
Yeah, piled it up to 168% damage.
Yeah.
And you got to think it's going to take a little bit more than that. Oh, looking for a cheeky gimp there, but we tech those here in Techadelphia.
Definitely. We always tech. And woo!
Oh, CoJam. Good recovery there onto the platform.
Absolutely. And Herbert Hoover answering right back with the forward smash. And now we have a one-side game. What's going to happen here? Herbert Hoover trying to start something up quick. Okay.
Trying to close that gap, but you got to think 41% damage. That's not a bad start for CoJam on this last stock. That's where he was, where he lost his second stop with CoJam.
Right.
And now 78%. It's really is a race to the finish, and the win conditions here pretty clear for both players.
Tries to get the read. Herbert Hoover. And CoJam answering right back. They're really just playing footsies right now, dancing back and forth.
CoJam would be wise to tech chase here a little bit, Uno. He's not reading these very well. And perhaps a little bit more damage to get that to get into kill percentage.
Right. Okay, good pressure on the needles though. CoJam's doing pretty well. With the needle pressure, gets the grab. Oh, and tries to get the bouncing fish read, misses by a hair. Okay, CoJam still trying to find something, and he the bouncing fish.
Pump up the jam,
is what is going to take it.
Herbert Hoover, a valiant effort, but CoJam rocking and rolling his way into the next round after a, let's face it, that could have been anyone's game. But
that was especially
so close. Especially the way that CoJam was leaving himself open to a lot of these attacks, since Herbert Hoover was not taking advantage of a lot of that stuff.
Yeah, I mean, Herbert Hoover, he was playing well. Think about it. He just lost his stock earlier than